fucking bleed now!
Hello Frank, welcome back to Slovenia, the third time for you.
Yep.
The first time was a club show in Ljubljana, the second time was on Metal Camp. How do you feel about it? How do you remember the first time and the second time at Metal Camp?
I don't really remember the first time, but I remember Metal Camp, obviously, and that was the last show we did of the tour. Mm-hmm. And I remember we had a really good crowd reaction. And it was good for us to be on a festival with so many traditional metal bands. And I remember it was great because I grew up listening to Destruction, and I got to, talk with them for a little bit, and we're friends with the guys in Down and stuff. So it was a good experience, and I remember it was raining a lot that day, and it was great though. I remember the crowd was going crazy for us, but it's good to be back, and hopefully maybe some people that saw us there will be here tonight. So we'll see.
Okay, and what is the reason behind this tour? Usually bands go on tour to promote the record and...
To do the festivals. I mean, we played Sonosphere Switzerland 2 nights ago with Iron Maiden and Alice Cooper. That was cool. And then we're headlining with Full Force this Saturday in Germany. So we wanted to come and maybe play some places in between. I mean, we're only here for 12 days. So we wanted to come and play some places in between, and maybe people would want to see us like last time we were at a festival here, and this time we're in a club. So, but really to do the festival, and fortunately we were able to come back to Slovenia here in between the festivals and the weekends.
There's been some rumors that you're already writing a new album. Can you confirm that, or?
Yeah, I mean,
At what stage are you currently right now?
Well, I mean, we have some stuff that we've messed around with, but we haven't really got serious and sat down together. We all work on stuff on our own. We will really get together and collaborate in the beginning of the year. There will be no new album out this year because we're touring now until the rest of the year. We're coming back to Europe in August. We're going to Australia for the Soundwave Revolution Festival with I think it's Van Halen as the headliner. We're touring the States for 2 months on a big tour, supporting a couple other bands, and the Stillborn Festival that Jamie does every year. So that will take us till the beginning of next year, and then we'll get in the studio and record a new record, have it out for in time for next summer. So it's going to be a while, but I mean, we're in our spare time, we're all working on stuff on our own, which is what we do anyway. And then we get together and put the ideas together. It's just that we're not going to have a chance to get together to do that until next year.
Can you describe on what project are you currently working on? I know that Jamie is doing a solo record now.
Yes, I have a band that I'm working on that's going to feature my friend Nate. He's in the band Converge, and Randy from Lamb of God. He's going to sing, and one of the guys from Terror is going to be in the band. And it's more like traditional old hardcore, like DRI, and like old hardcore, like that, Raw Power, from Italy. Stuff that we grew up listening to, something to do for fun. We'll probably never be able to tour because everybody's in other bands, but I'm doing that for fun, but I'm writing most of the music for it, so I'm doing that, but I don't like to involve myself with too much stuff when we're not on the road because I enjoy my time at home. I'd rather not do anything than be busy all the time, Other people like to stay busy all the time. Jamie's always busy. He's got so much stuff going on, so I'm the opposite. I just like to relax sometimes. So.
Do you think it will be hard to schedule all the guys that you mentioned? I mean, Randy's doing Lamb of God
No,
right now.
because now you have the internet and it's so easy. Maybe a long time ago, yes. Now, here's the songs, I email it to them and tell me what you think, and, it's a lot easier now. If somebody, you can send the stuff to somebody and have them record it, and you don't even have to be there, With technology, it's a lot easier now than it is to do something like that, so I don't think it'll be too hard. So I'm not worried about it. Plus, there's no pressure. I don't have to have this thing out tomorrow. They could come out in a year, so, we're just working on ideas now, and like I said, it's for fun, so that's when I see, that goes hand in hand with no pressure, fun. So.
Okay, and hardcore music was always relevant when it came to what's going on around in the world.
Yeah.
It was in the beginning, in the 80s, the times were fucked up, the times are fucked up now.
Sure.
Do you think it's now even more relevant, considering that a lot of people just don't care, they're all on computers, just basically being apathic about it,
I don't know. It's hard to say. There's so many different bands and there's so many subgenres. It's hard to even say what that is anymore. So I mean, things have changed a lot. That's for sure. Obviously the music industry has changed a lot, and we're just come from the old style of hardcore where before it was the internet. When you would write somebody a letter or send somebody a demo tape. Now it is all the internet and things like that. It's unfortunate because I think it's lost a lot of its sincerity, and now you just have kids that are on the internet all day. They just talk about bands. They don't even go to the shows, and it's just kind of ridiculous. But I mean, there's bands out there that are still making sure that people understand what true hardcore is. Bands like Terror, bands like Trapped Under Ice, bands like Down to Nothing, bands like Cruel Hand, labels like Reaper Records. I mean, they're out there and kind of trying to keep the kids in touch with what's real hardcore, because the term gets thrown around very loosely nowadays. So, like I said, though, there's so many different bands and so many different subgenres. It's really bad in the States. You don't have it here as bad as much, I don't think. Everything seems to be a little more genuine here as far as the fans go and things like that. It's a lot worse in the States than it is here. I don't know if you can tell that or not.
Hatebreed is around for more than 15 years now.
Yes.
So how would you compare me the scene from 90s and now today's scene with the whole hardcore and metal?
Well, I think that underground music then was just underground music. And you had all these bands, and then the stuff you hear on the radio was nothing like it. Now you have all these bands that have crossed over to the radio, these bands like All That Remains, Kill Switch Engage, and it's more accessible. You have tours in the States like Ozfest. Heavy music and hardcore music is a lot more accessible by the masses now compared to when it was in 1995. So I think whether that's good or bad, I don't know. But that's definitely a big change in what's going on then. It was more of a community now, but then, I mean, it still is a community in a sense, but it was really a community back then. And like I was saying before, before the internet and all that. So, it's a lot different, I think. I mean, maybe some people tell you it's the same, but maybe they're just living their life the same as they were back then. I don't know. I think it's kind of hard to do that, and for whatever reasons. But I think it's changed a lot. We try to just be Hatebreed at the end of the day, and not try to change things too differently and how we used to. Obviously the band's become more successful since then, and we're able to tour the world and things like that. But I mean, it all goes back to what I said about the industry and how things have changed over the years, and but I mean, to think about a band like Hatebreed coming out of the hardcore scene, touring with Slipknot and Slayer, and Korn and Disturbed and all these bands like they did, that was unheard of back there. Before a band like Hatebreed did that, no bands did that really, and they opened the door for the things I said, before Ozfest in the States. You have these big festivals over here now with huge metal bands, but with big name hardcore bands on it. It's a lot different.
Hatebreed is known with a huge fan base of hardcore fans and also metal fans. How do you see that the metal fans are actually listening to bands such as Hatebreed?
Well, I think it's a matter of, I think a lot of times the people that listen to the music like to relate to the artist. When they see us on stage wearing Possessed shirts and 6 Feet Under and things like that, they realize that we're into the metal community as well. I grew up in the metal scene. I got into hardcore through thrash metal. In the 80s, I would go see Celtic Frost and Voivod and Creator and all these bands, and I found Agnostic Front through those bands. We're fans of the stuff just like they are. And I think that, especially in the metal community, that's real impressionable on somebody who's maybe seeing us for the first time at Vakken or something like that. Also, like I said before, us being able to open for Slayer, open for Slipknot, do the big festivals, it has a lot to do with exposure. I mean, the metal community would never know about a band if they didn't get to see them live. They're not going to go and try and find if they just listen to metal, they're not going to go and try and find hardcore bands to listen to. But if they could actually see them in concert and say, oh wow, you know, maybe open their mind up, you know, and we try to do that. You know, we were able to cross over to the metal scene, and it's hard to walk that fine line and still keep the hardcore fans interested, because, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, the band's sold out now, they're touring with Korn and they're headlining with Full Force and they're on this label now, you know, but we try to keep the music the same. You know, I find it hard to believe that you can stop listening to a band just for what bands they tour with or what label they're on. If you love the music, you love the music, and that's it at the end of the day.
Okay, our time is up. Thank you for taking your time, by the way.
I appreciate it. No,
could you give any last message to the readers, to the fans of Hatebreed,
to the fans,
to the viewers of
the fan base
interview.
of Hatebreed is now pretty much bigger than 7 years ago.
Yeah,
well, we appreciate the support, and we hope that you guys will come out and see us at the club shows or at the festivals, and sit tight, and we'll promise we'll have a new record coming out soon. So until then, just stay posted, and we'll hopefully see you guys soon. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.